guys, welcome back to Bit by Bit for a very special version of Coffee Break, where we're going to be answering a number of questions that you guys sent in to us via our social media channels and comments on our YouTube videos and all that sort of stuff. And we're basically doing that because we recently reached 100 subscribers, which is a big milestone for us, even though it seems maybe a little small. We've been working really hard on that, and we're so grateful to have all of you guys watching our channel. So in order to celebrate, we're going to answer some of the questions that you sent in. Some of them are about games, and some of them are about really random stuff, but we're just going to take care of it all. So Janet, do you want to go ahead and get us started?
Yeah, so I have the list of questions. I'm just going to read down who asked it the question and then how they, the forum through which they asked it, basically. So Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Okay, so our first question comes from Peter, and this was asked on BitCulture's open forums page on Facebook, and is, what do you think makes a good game? So I guess you can start, and then I'll go, and then we'll just flip-flop from there.
Gotcha. Okay. So I guess for me, a good game is something that I want to come back to again and again. There's games that I think can be good if you only play them once, but I think the best kind of games are the games that you play, it feels like your whole life. Like, you return to them again and again every couple of years, or even less frequently than that. So, or more frequently than that, I mean. And usually what's involved in that for me is sort of, obviously a replayability factor, but a good story development, excellent characters, something I feel like I can engage in, and a sense that things can change when I do it differently. So that my impact on the game is real is important to me in a good game, so.
Okay. Do you have an example of what a good game is?
Mass Effect. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. It's right there. It's coming out in a couple of weeks. I'm really nerding out about it.
Yeah, and you got the pre-order, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
ready to go? Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. For me, I think it also depends on the genres you normally play, because some of the things you mentioned, I'm like, yeah, I never come back to that. But I guess in some ways it's similar. To me, a good game does something different, and by that I mean it sets itself apart from other games of its genre. I think a game that's truly good, not just a game that's I enjoy or feels good to me. To me, Blur isn't necessarily it's kind of a good game, but not I wouldn't necessarily recommend that to a whole. Actually, no, I would recommend it to everyone. I take that back. But if I'm thinking of just what is a good game, yeah, it's different, it's memorable. It, unafraid to reference or not reference, right? Using that Lady Gaga line. So, I'm thinking of good games. I think of Inside, of course, comes to mind, because it's not necessarily a game I would play again, but it's just such a memorable experience in the way that it, has these just such, tightly designed puzzles, and everything's so perfectly timed, and it really feels like to me, a good game is truly, an experience. Which I think it can sound a little pretentious, but that's kind of what it feels like to me. And then also, another example of a good game, which is, once again, kind of a cliche, but Mario 64. And I bring that up just because I've been playing it recently. I do this thing where every Thursday or Friday, if I miss it, I do at least 1 hour of retro gaming. So right now I'm going through Mario 64 again. This is my third playthrough. I played it at least once as a kid. Once on the DS, and then once again on the N64 now that I bought all the stuff back. And to me, that game is it's really, really, really damn good, which I know everyone already knows, but I think just the fact that, it still feels, so fresh, even though it's so old, and, the mechanics are a little wonky sometimes, because, it's a different controller than we're used to. But, playing it honestly feels the first time I'm playing it ever. And I love, playing it, having my brother watch me, and we're trying to figure out stuff, and everything's crazy, and it does kind of have that bit of, I feel me playing it versus someone else playing it, there'll be different little stories in your experience, and I think that is part of it.
Right.
Cool. So our next game comes from Twitter. It's just someone that tweeted at me, and their handle's Vidja Games. So it's spelled VIDJA Games. So Vidja Games. I love that handle. And their question is, what is the first video game you ever played, / what got you into gaming? So for me, the first game I ever played that I can remember, because I started really young, I think Jess, you did as well. One of the earliest games I can remember playing is Yoshi's Island for the SNES Junior. So that would be one of the first ones, and I guess in a way what got me into gaming, though for me what got me into gaming was my brother, because he's 6 years older, so basically all my access to games, toys, just comes through him, because he's the one I'm hanging out with and already has the stuff, right? He's been alive 6 years before I was alive, so I kind of came into the world and there's already stuff there, and I'm well, okay, and it's kind of, so he's definitely what got me into gaming. Other than that, one of the first games I can remember playing as well this came after the SNES Junior though, is I got a Game Boy Pocket from my grandma, and she got a game with it, but she doesn't know anything about games. So, you get that, I don't know if it has happened, but that classic, like, here, I got you this game, and you're like, what is this? So one of those games was the Smurfs game for the Game Boy Pocket. And I didn't like it very much because you couldn't attack anyone. I was used to jumping on things, right? So, and you can't, when you jump on it, you just get hit. I'm like, that's stupid. Just stupid game design. Though, to this day, the log water part is pretty good / kind of challenging. But that was me when I was like a child. Maybe it actually isn't good or challenging, but that's a part I remembered from it. Okay. All right, what about you? What was your first game and what got you into it?
I'm actually really not sure what my first game is because, like you, I mean, I've been playing games as long as I can remember. So I
wish there was
a couple
documentation, like a scrapbook.
Right. Like I wish I had scrapbooked my gaming life. No, I there's a couple ones I think I might have started with, or at least there's like a clump of games in the same era, in the beginning of my experience. So Resident Evil Director's Cut on the PlayStation was one of them. Donkey Kong on the Super Nintendo, or Pokemon on the Game Boy Color. No, Game Boy. I don't remember if we had a regular Game Boy before Game Boy Color. I was too young.
How old were you? Like 5 or 6? Because could you read for Pokemon? Or was
I could read when I was like 4.
Oh, okay, so you could read like the little, because it's very text heavy of the game.
So I'm not sure when we got Pokemon. I don't remember because it was all like things just happened to you when you're a kid. You're like, here's this thing, and you're like, sweet,
Right.
So like you're not thinking maybe I should go get the Pokemon game. I'm just living my life. People are like dropping stuff in it, so like whatever.
Right, or they're like, one day someone will pass you the controller, and now you're playing. It's pretty
cool. I mean, and kind of on that road, I guess. Weirdly enough, my parents got me into video games, which seems a little weird maybe to people who know my parents, mostly because they don't seem like gamery, but they were when I was a kid. And my mom to this day can still, I think I probably told you this story, but I don't know if I mentioned on the channel, my mom can still to this day beat all of us at Tekken, and it's really weird because my mom is like she's like this really wonderful awkward woman, and that's how I get it probably from, I guess, at least the awkward part. But she doesn't seem like someone who's good at Tekken. And so we all get Tekken, and we're like teenagers, and we're bringing it home from the game store or whatever. And she's like, oh, you got Tekken? And we're like, yeah, and she's like, let's have a family tournament. And so we did, and she beat all of us. She just remembered all the combos, and she just picked her favorite characters. And she could use all the cool moves, and we were just like, kicking each other's shins, And so she could do that, and so when my parents were young, they played video games. That's the original, I think, when we got the Super Nintendo, I think it was my parents, it was not ours, and then we got it when they were done with it and decided that they had other things to focus on. And my dad played Delta Force on the computer up until I was like 10 or 12. So definitely my parents got me into it, which seems weird because I don't know if they realized that, but but they did. So yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. Do you remember what character your mom mainly plays like with on Tekken? That sentence was phrased really weirdly. But.
I'm not really a Tekken nerd, so I've only.
Oh, okay. So you can't. You're like, okay.
There's the tiger guy that she was good with, and then there was the guy Law. His name was I think his name was Law. He like runs I don't know either. People's faces and then
that's
like
so cool.
kicks them. Yeah. So anyway,
God, fighting games are so fun.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Next question comes from Alex Pizza via Facebook's BitCulture's open forums, and this question is. What was the first game that you really got into playing? Like, I guess kind of obsessively. Okay. And then looking back, are you glad you played it? I feel like that has like a layer of like maybe you got too into it or something like that.
Right.
So do you want to go ahead and take a stab at this one?
Sure. I think this is hard too because I've always kind of had an obsessive personality. So trying to figure out where that started is hard. The first one that comes to mind for me that I played so obsessively was the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic series. But I think that's for me the first time that a game really like where I had a feeling about a game that I thought I don't need to do anything else in my life except for play this game. There's other games that are good, you enjoy them, you're like, that was fun, and I'm gonna do something else. With Star Wars Knights of the Republic, it was like I could play this the rest of my life and not do anything else, and I will be just fine. And
do you think it holds up? Can I play that now, and will it be like okay?
I think part of the reason why it won't seem as good is because it's an early version of BioWare games where there's many later iterations that do the same things better.
Okay.
But it was the first thing of its kind when I was a kid, so like that I never experienced.
Right.
There was never a game that I had experienced like that where I get to choose what happens and I get to engage with characters in the same way. Like that was like, whoa, I didn't know video games could do that. And I already loved video games, but that like sealed it, like that was it. It was done. I was going to play this game forever, or games like it, and I have because BioWare keeps coming out with them because they want me to do nothing else with my life. So Yeah, I think other than that, The Sims I was pretty obsessed with when I was a kid. We got it on the, and my mom got our first like at-home computer was a Gateway desktop computer, and they have like the little cow print on the box. I remember very specifically.
Yeah.
We went to get the box with the cow box.
I love the cow print.
Yeah, it was so cute, and I was really confused by it because my mom also loves cows, and I was like, so does she get this box because she loves cows? No, that's just what their design is. And we opened it up and got the computer out, and they had some free games in there, really weirdly, and we were like, what is this? The Sims, and that's
super cool.
An obsession was born. So,
yes. Okay, for me, I have never really like gotten like crazy obsessive with games, with a few exceptions, but I think the first game I really like remember getting into, like to kind of that extent, was combination. It was Super Smash Bros. Melee. So I knew from and Mario Party 4 for the GameCube. And the funny thing about Melee is that, or Melee, however you pronounce it, I always say it different ways, is that like, so that game has stood the test of time. Like people still play it now, for tournaments and competitively. And my brother jokes that like I was, I got it in the ground up. I was like, it's like I was the one person that knew. I'm like, this really is the only game you need forever. The reason I bring that game up is because I would think I was around 9, maybe a little bit older when we had the GameCube, because I think the GameCube came out around 2003-ish. I think we got it. We might have got it a little bit after, or I think we did get it pretty early because we did have Luigi's Mansion. But so I was like 9, 10, maybe 11 during this time, and I would literally ask my brother every single day to play Mario Party 4 or
That's
Smash.
Fair.
Literally so every day. I think it might have been both every day. Like every day I'd be like, hey Edwin, can we play Smash Bros? Can we play Mario Party? And I'm like a kid, and I'm like, I don't know why he didn't just abandon me. I was really annoying about it. I literally always asked, which is why I'm like, okay, you want to play FIFA? That's cool. And I ended up loving FIFA. I did have to end up learning how to play Madden because he wanted to play Madden. I'm like, okay, well, I'll play Madden. And then you play, and he did like those games. But like every day. And here's the thing about that too. We would play, like me and my brother, 2 people. We would play the 64-person tournaments, which is, the 64 characters going to a tournament. And it was just me and him. Those tournaments take, like, we did one of 32, like, recently. So, we're like, oh, let's try to do it again, like, when we were kids. That took us, it takes, 3 hours. So that one takes, it's like a 6-hour tournament. And it was just us. We didn't put computers in there at all. It was just going up, slowly going up all the brackets. And it was just, yeah, it was crazy. It was really crazy. And so I played a whole bunch of that game. But yeah, and that was my most obsessive experience with gaming. I don't know how many years or how long it took me, but I literally did ask every day for at least probably 6 months to a year, I think. And every day he played. Pretty much I don't think he ever said really no. Yeah. He would kind of put it off, or we'd maybe negotiate some stuff. But yeah, basically every day he would play. I don't know why I didn't just want to play the computer, but yeah, so that was my first bit with that. Which is what obsessed me when I'm not like that good. I'm like, I should be really good. I put so many hours. But I just, the fundamentals are really strong for me, but nothing else. Okay, what game do you most regret playing? I did see this question before this video, and I was trying to figure out an answer, and I still don't think I really have one. But I think, yeah, because I'm like, I know it sounds hippie, but I'm like, every mistake along the road is brings you to where you are. I do believe that a little bit, but I guess a game I regret playing, probably No Man's Sky, just because I also bought the PS4 in part for that, and it wasn't good. And then I guess other games like, I played a little bit of Bloodborne, which I'm not saying is a bad game or anything, but it's definitely not my genre. I've never done Dark Souls, so I was kind of like, eh. I played very little of that game, but I spent a good 2 hours on the character customization. Other regrets, yeah, it would probably for me be mainly games that I bought and then didn't work really ever play. Like I bought Shelter, which I think is actually a pretty good game, and the art is very beautiful. It's by Might and Delight, and you play as a little mama badger with the baby badgers, and it's fine. But I'm like, I didn't really end up diving into this. So I think for me, all my game regrets come from stuff I never actually got invested to, so I kind of just wasted my time on. That's what it is for me.
See, this is a hard question because it's not just what game don't you like, so that's hard. I think for me,
it's you want the time back.
Right, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna take it in a different direction, I think, because I'm gonna say games I most regret playing because they introduced mechanics that are not available in other games, and yet that game itself did not do it well enough to satisfy me. So like introduces a mechanic and then rips it away, right? Or a concept or an idea.
Yeah.
I think for me, weirdly enough, it's the Sims 2 Castaway on the PS2. I think it was on the PlayStation 2. I mean, it was probably also on the GameCube and all that kind of stuff. I don't remember, but I think I played on the PS2. And the reason why that would be one of my big game regrets is because I really, really enjoyed the concept of that game. It's like Sims, but you're like stranded on an island, and you have to like do all this stuff to sort of try to get off the island, but you can still have a lot of the other Sim stuff. Like you have to make sure you're eating and like have shelter and like are collecting stuff. And so I guess this idea of a stranded on an island game, I've never found one that I like as much as Sims 2 Castaway, but I don't like Sims 2 Castaway. So it's like, because it doesn't do enough with it. It's like, it has all the mechanics there and you think this could go places, and then it just doesn't.
Yeah.
And so, like, for my whole life, ever since playing that game, I'm like always looking for something that's going to fulfill that need that has been introduced in my life by that game.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. It's like, so, but whenever they come out with new stuff, like for The Sims, sometimes they have other things that are like on the Castaway, line, and it's not right. It's never quite right. And so it's really upsetting to me. So that's what I most regret playing. I wish I didn't know that I wanted a game like that.
Yeah, that's I like that one. It's really specific. I haven't had that, but that's really cool. And unfortunate. Yeah. As many of your stories are. It's a theme a little bit.
Thanks.
Okay, so this question comes from Paul from Facebook.
Of course.
The Culture's Open Forums, yep. And it's just Goofy or Donald, which I'm obviously the characters. For me, it's Goofy all the way. I didn't play Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if it was supposed to be a Kingdom Hearts question.
I don't know. Yeah.
I haven't played Kingdom Hearts. I want to just to see what the fuss is about, but yeah, for me, it would just be Goofy, just because I really liked the Goofy movie as a kid. It's like one of my favorite of the Disney movies, next to Aladdin. So yeah, so it's Goofy.
For me, it's Donald, because when I was a kid, I used to have kind of a temper problem, and I was really bossy when I was a little kid. I was a middle child. I don't know where something got messed up where I thought I was supposed to be the oldest child. My mom always says you should have been the oldest child because I'm that bossy, or at least I was. I don't feel like I have as much of a problem with it anymore. Like, you could ask my siblings, I think we're fine. But when I was like under 10, I was like, I need to be in control of everything, and you will all do what I say, or else we're gonna have some problems. So I had some temper issues, and my dad always used to compare me to Donald Duck. And my dad can do a flawless Donald Duck where he does like the sputtering and he's mad, the Donald Duck mad noise. My dad can do that really well.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's so strange. My dad's really good at voices. And so that was sort of a joke when I was a kid, was that I was like Donald Duck. And I embraced it. I was like, I am Donald Duck when I was a child. So,
it's horrifying.
Yeah, no, I was a little horrifying. It's okay.
That's great. Okay, and then this question comes from Alex, also Facebook, BitCulture's Open Forums, and this question is so easy.
Yeah, there's no competition.
Who is sexier, Daisy Duck or Jessica Rabbit?
It's Jessica Rabbit all day long.
Jessica Rabbit's better than anyone, any person, any rendering, any
Jessica
painting.
Rabbit or blank, who's sexier, is always going to be Jessica Rabbit.
That's true. Try it. I'll wait. But yeah. Yeah, that's it. That was a quick one. Okay. Next question comes also from Facebook, BitCulture's Open Forums, and it is from Carl Gutierrez, and the question is, what's better, Super Metroid or Metroid Prime? Now, I cannot really answer this question, and I don't think you can. Yeah, either, because I've never played either of those games. The reason I haven't played those games is because I'm pretty sure they're first person, right?
I don't know.
I think those ones
play Metroid. I've never played Metroid at all.
Really? Okay, so I think they're first person, and I didn't play the first person Metroid games. I didn't want to. I was very anti first person up until like a year ago. Well, first I was anti, and then I was just like, I just don't want to do it. But the only Metroid games I played that I really remember, Metroid Fusion was one of my favorite games ever.
Right.
It's super cool, and it's the 2D Metroid, so where you like side scroll and you just fight the bosses and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the Metroid I like, so I haven't played those.
I'd say, as far as Metroid goes, I don't feel bad that I haven't played Metroid, because I know a lot of people are like, what, you haven't played Metroid? It's like, no. Well, because, especially with like...
Is there a reason, or you just didn't...
No, well, it's just, it was never, in my experience growing up, that's the difference between growing up when we grew up and growing up now. I feel like a lot of times now, like you have more access to knowledge about games. When I was a kid, really, I only got games that I saw in the store that looked cool or that someone got me for a present. I didn't know to look for games like Metroid.
Yeah.
No one ever told me about Metroid, so I didn't know about Metroid. And now I'm older and I'm like, I can play Metroid and I probably will someday, but there's also so many other things that I want to play that are on my list that I'm like, if someone was like, here's Metroid, I'd be like, sweet, and I'd play it. But
I think that is interesting. We should probably, I don't know how we could frame this topic, but we should definitely do a video on like how we used to like find games, because I think that'd
be great.
Because I remember back, I got all my, it sounds so old now because with the internet, but I'm like all my news came from like EGM, which doesn't even exist anymore. So or like Game Informer and stuff, and so like when you found the hot game news, it was like, oh, look at the cover. Did you see the new cover of the Game Informer? Like it's not, which I still ask people, but it's not. It's not.
I think
it
was more exciting back then to find games.
Yeah,
it was
you're like,
you found the
whoa,
treasure,
like
right?
what?
Yeah, so.
Have you heard?
I miss being separate from the rest of society.
All right. So on that note, next question comes from Jake from just my Facebook page. I had shared, just made it really cool promotional images. What did you call that? I don't know.
Promo graphics.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For this video, and I shared it on my page, and some people got a lot of comments that way. And it was, who of us would win in a rap battle? Scientific method to solve, please. We will not be rapping on this channel at this point,
or ever.
Yeah, I think we need a few more subs to make that a worthwhile
or a
pursuit.
few more beers.
Yeah, we need a lot of other things. I was talking to my brother about it, and he's like, yeah, no one wants to see that, and the people that do want to see it for the wrong reasons. So, but I guess who would win? I think I would probably
you would win. You have more of a hip hop background. You have an appreciation for hip hop. I don't know much about hip hop at all. The only things I know about hip hop, I know because you told me. So or things I studied in contemporary poetry classes that we sort of delved into that. So I don't. I'm not a student.
Yeah. Do you listen to any hip hop?
Occasionally, but usually, I did listen to a bit of Kanye West, the graduation, what's it called? The college
dropout or graduate?
College dropout.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Or maybe it was
the Edge trilogy, as I call it. College dropout.
I listened to some of the Edge trilogy.
You probably have to listen to something because I always play it.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And but I did start listening to some of that on my own near the end of senior year because I thought this is appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the most part, I haven't. Mostly because I don't listen to music by myself that often. It's not that I don't like music; I really do. But I've been listening to the same songs for 4 years, so I just haven't really.
I feel a little bit that way too,
there.
and I'm worried I'm going to become like my dad, where I feel like, you listen to music up until a certain point, and then you just stay stuck in that year, and you never leave. That's horrifying
I think that
to
might be me. I'm trying to branch out a little, but also it's but I don't want to look for music right now. I just want to work and have music on in the background. So
yeah, I kind of do that too. Yeah, I'm a big hip hop fan. I've been listening to hip hop since I was 5. Once again, my brother. So I've listened a lot less in recent years, just because I've kind of fallen off the now of it. So a lot of my hip hop knowledge is a little bit older. My hip hop knowledge is really good from the 90s up until 2004 or 5, and then I kind of start to waver a little bit. But yeah, so then I would probably win because of that. And then I actually used to want to be a rapper. I made a few songs in 2nd or 3rd grade, and I came up with a name for myself and everything, which I'm not going to share.
What is the name? You have to tell us.
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Okay. It was Atsuko because it meant a child of profound emotions. I don't know if that's cultural appropriation on some level. I'm not sure where that name comes from. I just Googled.
Sounds Japanese.
I Googled a bunch of, I don't know how I Googled this. I think we had the home computer you could use sometimes, and I looked up names because I wanted to come up with a good rap name. Yeah, it's hard to come up with, but yeah, and I made some songs. I don't remember anything about the songs, so I can't share them at all, but I remember the choruses being the hardest thing to make. It's something that's kind of true. It's really hard to come up with a good chorus.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, then I would probably win that, but I don't think I would go well.
You didn't get to hear us rap, but you did get to hear Janet's rapper name. So
yeah.
It's a consolation prize.
Yeah, I don't want to do that for a while. Okay, cool. We'll do a couple more, and then I'm thinking we do a little break and then do another, just because we have so many questions.
Right, yeah, do a separate video.
Yeah, just to give you guys some options on
we have so
which
many feelings about your guys' questions.
Yeah, they've been really good. Okay, so next question comes from Edwin, my brother Edwin from that same Facebook share, and the question is, who is FIFA King? I'm
not familiar with that term. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not okay. I don't know how to answer this. I feel very attacked right now.
We should have just left this question out.
I know, but I want to. You could ask any questions.
Right.
I guess I feel like well, actually, I know who FIFA King is. It is Ocho Cinco, aka Chad Johnson. So I don't know if you know about this, but
Doesn't he go to people's houses?
Ocho Cinco. Okay, so Ocho Cinco is, used to be a football player. Original legal name was Chad Johnson. He actually did legally get his name changed to Ocho Cinco.
Ocho Cinco is a lot cooler.
Yeah, it's a great name. A great guy. Follow him on Twitter if you haven't already. He has amazing tweets. I love him.
His Snapchat's also really awesome.
Yeah, Snapchat's really good. He's really positive and like weird, and like he's always like just smoking cigars, and he plays FIFA all the time. And he's really good. He plays on Xbox, and he literally goes to people's houses, and then he beats them at FIFA, and then he just eats the food out of their fridge. He's really big on like being like frugal. Like he's always talking about like frugal team, and he always eats McDonald's all the time. But then like he has like this amazingly fit body because he works out a lot, and he's like, "See, you don't need a diet. Like I eat McDonald's all the time, and I'm ripped." And then, or he's like, he'll just say all these goofy things. Like he was doing a Snap story where he was like in the shower. Like you couldn't see like that he was naked, but obviously he was naked because he was in the shower, and he's like, save money by showering at your girlfriend's house instead of at your own. He's just a goofy guy, but he is the self-proclaimed FIFA king, and basically lives up to that. My brother asked this because he jokes that he's a FIFA king, so much that I bought him a shirt that said FIFA king, because it was the only thing I could think of to get him for Christmas. So that's where that comes from, but the correct answer it is Ocho Cinco. He's really, really good.
I concur.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do a couple more, and then we'll pause and make a part 2 for you guys. Next question comes from Sam Caldwell, once again from that Facebook share that I did on my page from your image. Funny. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? Now, I've thought about this a little bit. I didn't want to think about any of the questions, but I did see them before. Okay, so I'm also losing track on who's... Yeah, you did.
We can just say this.
Yeah, we'll just go.
We'll both answer at some point.
So I'm thinking, oh God, I still don't know. Okay, let me just talk to my thought process a little bit. I'm concerned with fighting 100 duck-sized horses if they still have the little like.
They can still trample you.
Yeah, they can trample. If they get at my ankles, I fall. And then also, what do we mean by fight? Do I have to kill them? Do I have to kill them? That's my question too, because that's like pretty hard. And do I have a weapon? Where are we fighting too? Because I in my mind this takes place in a park. I don't know if that's...
I was thinking in a green,
like a grassy area. Yeah.
Like a large expanse
of
grass.
I think it depends on if I have a weapon. I imagine not having a weapon.
Dark clouds in the background.
But I'm sure I could like maybe get some type of something. I'm thinking, it depends on what you mean by fight. Do I have to
like fist fight them? Because it's different. I could squish the horses maybe a little bit, but I can't like punch
there's so many, and they all have
like a horse-sized duck. I can't punch.
I think I would go with the 100 duck-sized horses because I can probably like maybe find some rocks or something and just like pummel them and stuff. And also, if it depends on what we mean by fight, is it like I have to win and kill them? Because I think I have a better chance of killing. There's a lot though. It's 100. So, but I think I have a better shot with that than the duck. Okay, the reason the duck is scary to me too is because I don't know if you guys have been around ducks recently, but they're horrifying animals. Like they're
not as bad as geese.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy animals. So I don't think I want to fight.
If the question was goose, there'd be no competition.
But I think the duck, it's gonna be huge with its big is it a bill technically? Because it's a duck, right?
Yeah.
It's huge bill, and it's gonna be a horse isn't too big though.
No, it's not. It's not that big. I'm gonna tell you what.
I'll take the horses though. But what's your answer?
I'll take the duck.
Okay.
The horse-sized duck because I'm gonna fight it and tame it and then ride this duck around. That's my answer. I've thought about this a lot. Yeah, so that's the only choice.
That's good. I like that.
If it was a goose, no, I hate geese. But the duck's okay. I can befriend a duck.
All right, we'll just finish up with this page. We have one more and then like 3 tiny questions. So this also comes from Sam because he wants to give us a video game version in case that's what we're looking for, and I told him we'd do both. So also from that Facebook share. So would you rather fight 1 Ganondorf-sized Navi or 100 Navi-sized Ganondorfs?
I think I'm just scared of hordes of things.
Yeah.
Because I'm also feeling like just fighting a Ganondorf-sized Navi. Mostly because Navi's not that scary.
Me too. Yeah. I'm also taking Navi because it's just a little circle.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, okay, we done?
Also, haven't we all been wanting to beat the crap out of Navi for some time? That's like kind of
annoying,
right? I would love to I also picture it being, I guess it would be a lot bigger because I'm imagining since it's a circle, you'd have to make the circle basically the size of Yeah, so it would be a pretty
so the
big
circle would get
Navi.
bigger 'cause
Yeah,
the
yeah.
circumference, yeah.
Right,
so-
because across, but
Diameter
it could be like a giant pinata type thing. And I think that'd be fun.
Oh yeah, what would come out of Navi? Wow.
What a world to live in. Yeah, so I would definitely take that.
Okay. Yeah,
that
me
seems
too.
fun. Okay. Then, we have a couple quick questions from Mickey DeRusso, also from that Facebook share image, and we'll just run through them. So first off, top 6 Pokemon of all time. I feel like these will actually take longer than I
Rough.
thought. We'll just do these and then we're ended after that. But top 6 Pokemon of all time. I guess I can start because I feel like you have
time.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have a lot of Pokemon. You have more Pokemon knowledge than I do.
You go. I think. This is hard. Don't make me do this.
I know I should have ended on this. I didn't realize it was so loaded. So for me, I'm going to do this based on Pokemon I love to battle with and also I kind of feel a connection to. I haven't played as much Pokemon as Jess, which is why I'm going to go first, give her more time to think. I've only really played like the really old games, like Yellow and Red and Blue. And then like seriously, like maybe something in between, then Alpha Sapphire, and then I played Sun and Moon. So I haven't played that much. My favorite 6 of all time would be Miltank, because I love Miltank. Miltank's super badass. It does not evolve. Just told me a while ago that I would leave Miltank for my team. I never left Miltank. Miltank was amazing. It had Milk Drink. I renamed it Moo Bear.
I hate Miltank.
Moo Bear was my only female Pokemon in my squad, and Moo Bear held it down the whole game. The whole game. Could not have beat Moon without Miltank. And everyone and I would always use it against like battling people. Everyone would be so salty because I would just revive myself and then stomp on them, and it felt so good. And I loved Moo Bear. Moo Bear was amazing. Moo Bear, Shroomish. I love Shroomish because it's just really cute. I just got really attached to that Pokemon. And I kept it as Shroomish for a long time, I think till like level 40, because my roommate Maggie had told me that if you leave it that long, it can learn Spore and then like put everyone to sleep basically automatically, and it was really good for catching. So I kept it like that. But by the time it reached that level and got Spore, I was so attached to it as Shroomish, so I just left him as Shroomish. I never evolved it. So I had like a level like 60 Shroomish by that time of the game. So I love Shroomish, so that's my second one. Third one is probably Alola Raichu, because that one's pretty dope. It didn't really hold down quite as much, but it's just a really, really cool design on like, very classic Pokemon. Like Pikachu is like the mascot of Pokemon. Obviously Raichu being the evolution, this being the spin-off evolution. So, or evolution, not revolution. So those are 3. Then I'm going to go with Gengar. I love ghost Pokemon, and Gengar's always been one of my favorite.
Gengar's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I just picked, just Gengar because it's the highest evolution of that line. So that's 4. And then, probably we'll go with like Squirtle, because that's one of my favorite like Pokemon. It's like from the original starters. It was a toss-up though between Squirtle and Wartortle, because Squirtle's cuter, so that's nice. And you have Squirrel Squad with the shades and everything if you watch the show. But I really, really do like Wartortle's design, so I just wanted to like give a shot to that because I love like the little like, kind of wing thing added.
Yeah,
it's really nice. Blastoise is just like it's just a giant turtle with a cannon. Like they really just kind of went away from what they were going with creatively. So those are 5, and then my 6th one. I had an idea for it too. I'll go with Chikorita because that's one of my favorite starter lines.
I love that one.
And it's so cute. It's this green little bean. Shout out to Alex who did one ask a question, and then 2 also agrees with me on this cute green little bean little necklace thing. And its evolutions are also really cool. Yeah. Like all the evolutions are cool, and I feel like grass never gets enough love. So those are my 6. I'm sure if I gave more thought, like there'd be maybe other ones that went in there, but there are definitely at least a few that I think would stay. And those are all based on either cuteness or also practicality, usually a combination of both. I think all of the ones I named are pretty cute, so I'm proud of that. I think Gengar is cute, even though he's kind of a creep, but I don't know. I like him. I like Gengar. So those are my 6.
So again, same thing for me. Like if I had more time to really like sit down and like make a list and sort of cross stuff out, maybe later. It'd be different. We'll do it later, maybe. But for me, just off the top of my head, things that will come to mind. Me and my brother, we've been playing together forever, and there's always Pokemon that sort of we play versus each other, and we start to notice, oh, that's a Mike Pokemon, that's a Jess Pokemon, and they start to be like owned by you as a concept. So like even like games later, it's like I can't really get that because it's a Mike Pokemon. I don't feel like I can love you because you're a Mike Pokemon, not a Jess Pokemon. So for me, some of my Jess Pokemon were definitely Miss Magmius. I don't know how to say the evolution's name. It's Miss Drevis's evolution. It's the ghost.
Oh yeah. I think you mentioned that. Yeah.
I love Miss Drevis. I love Miss Drevis. My first ever favorite Pokemon was Ponyta. So Ponyta and Rapidash, that line. I was obsessed with that when I was a kid. Trying to think of what else.
I'm kind of sad Eevee didn't make my list.
I was just thinking about Eevee. It was like one of the things is like I love Eevee and I love Eeveelutions, and I definitely want to have like a game where I just play with like Eevee Pokemon like eventually.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
I think I'd really enjoy that. But I don't know if it makes my top list, mostly because I'm not sure even which of the Eeveelutions I like the best. Yeah. But I always like to have one like around. But so I don't think Eevee's on my list, but it's close. One that is on my list for sure is Go-Goat. It's from X and Y. And I had my brother and I played that recently versus each other for like the whole game, and I love that goat. It would just kick butt every time, and it's just got this dead, soulless look in its eyes that I loved, and I named it BB. So it's my BB the goat, That's cute. And it just kind of like stares at you like it's dead inside, and I'm like, I love this goat. So I love Go-Goat. I guess I'll add another one from that generation, just because it's all in my mind, is Esper, which evolves into Meowstic. I prefer Esper, actually. But Esper is just like this, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but this is a cute little, like, cat-looking thing that's, like, standing, and it looks even more dead inside than Go-Go does. Like, its eyes are huge, and there's nothing behind those eyes. There's nothing behind them.
That's
I love Esper so much. And it just stares at its opponent, and it's, like, tiny, and it's not that strong, but I love Esper. So that's 4. I actually really love Cyndaquil a lot.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, Cyndaquil is so cute. Cyndaquil might be my favorite starter Pokemon of all time.
It's really nice. It's just so tiny and has a little fire.
Yeah, and it's so adorable. I don't ever really want it to evolve. Typhlosion is really cool, but Cyndaquil's cuter. So that whole like starter line was just amazing. Oh yeah, it was so good.
I don't know if it's ever been that good. I haven't followed it as closely, so
it's really solid.
So good.
So what was that? 5?
So.
Yes, that was 5. I need one more. There's a lot more than this, I know, that I would put in there. I think also I will add in Absol. I've sort of become disillusioned about Absolutely only because it's been, like, as I've been replaying games and stuff, it's, like, in a lot of games unnecessarily. I'm like, okay, this was just in the last game. Can we not have it in this game? Because, of course, it's going to be in its original generation, but then it comes up into other games, and I'm like, we don't need it again. It doesn't evolve or anything. It doesn't have a mega evolution, but...
What's its type again? I don't remember what
it's Dark type.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like white, and it has, like, the moon thing like this.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Absol. When I saw Absol, I knew it was a Jess Pokemon. So did Mike. That's why, he just...
It looks really nice.
Sees a Pokemon in the wild, he's like, that's a Jess Pokemon.
It looks really nice.
Leaves it alone.
It has, like, a nice, like, level of class to it.
It really is. It's really nice. And I do like Absol a lot. But right now, I'm not, like if I was playing a Pokemon game, I wouldn't pick it up just because I've had too many recently. I like to have times where I'm like, this is the time I'm having this Pokemon and I don't have it again. So there's a lot more than that I really love, but I'll go with those 6 because they're the ones that first come to mind. So
okay, cool. Well, I think we'll end this video here. We'll do our part 2 for our next video. So thanks for checking this out, guys. If you have more questions that you want to ask us, feel free to leave a comment below for whenever we decide to do another questions video. So far, this has been really fun. I'm really excited to shoot part 2 for it. So be sure to hit subscribe on our channel. Be sure to like this video. And be sure to follow us on social media. You can find us at Facebook at BitByBit Gaming.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. At BitByBit Gaming. You can find us on Twitter at BitByBit Gaming. Right? Maybe.
Yes. So I think I was wrong.
Really?
Facebook is BitByBit Gamers.
Facebook's BitByBit Gamers.
And Instagram and Twitter are BitByBit Gaming.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So then what Jess said, also if that was like too confusing, we also have it on our YouTube channel page.
Just click on it.
So YouTube, if you listen to the podcast version, it's youtube.com/BitByBit. On our page has all our social medias. If you hit the about on the bottom is also all our social medias, plus me and Jess's blogs respectively. So you can find all of it through that. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
Right, thanks.
Bye.